Okay, I realized after last spring that a number of you were really struggling with surface area. So I thought it might do us well to look at it again from a slightly different perspective. And this time we're going to look at it from the perspective of the lateral surface area and then the surface area. So as we look at the lateral surface area, we see that your lateral surface area are these flat surfaces that go around the base of the triangle on the bottom and on the top. You can see that triangle, right? So if we want to know the surface area, the lateral surface area, if we know the triangle, the perimeter of the triangle, then the surface area of this lateral piece is the perimeter times the height, okay? So let's look at that. Say we have a triangular prism, which is what this is. Okay. There's my triangular prism. Okay. How are we going to figure the surface area of the lateral surface area? No, let's see, it only has one T. Lateral surface area. Okay, my lateral surface area is the perimeter of my triangle times the height of the lateral. Okay, so the perimeter of the triangle, let's say it's an equilateral triangle, so that means all the sides are the same. And let's make it 6 inches. So my perimeter would be 6 plus 6 plus 6, which is 3 times 6, since there's 3 the same, making 18 inches. Let's make my height 10 inches. And so then the height of my lateral is 10 inches, so 18 times 10 is equal to 180 inches. And that is my lateral surface area. Now, to go from my lateral surface area to my complete surface area, which we just call surface area, all I have to do is add the area of the top and the bottom, which are the same. So if we remember right, an equilateral triangle, what was your height? If you remember the height of that thing, it was, let's see, S, the side, times the square root of 3 over 2 was your height. So my side is 6. So I have 6 square root of 3 over 2 is my height. And my base is 6. And it's 1/2 of that. So this is going to give me 36 divided by 4 is equal to 9 square root of 3. And we can add, and there's 2 of those, that's one base, so we're going to have 2 of those bases. 2 times 9 square root of 3 is equal to 18 square root of 3. Is equal to 31.2. So 180 plus 31.2 is equal to 211.2 square inches. Okay? So you start with your lateral, where you take the perimeter times the height, which gives us 180, and then you take your triangle, your height, times 1/2 space times height, and that gave me that, and from there we went on and calculated it until we found out what it was, and we went from there to get to our full surface area. So it's easier to do your lateral surface area instead of looking at each surface and calculating each surface. it's easier to look at the perimeter of the base of the object, multiply it times the height, and you've got your lateral. Okay, so that's a good thing about a lateral. And all your prisms will run that way. So, lateral for a prism is simply the perimeter of the base times the height of the lateral. Okay? And then for a surface area, for the prism, it's the lateral surface area plus 2 times the area of the base. Okay? If we were to look at another one of these shapes, the same kind of thing. Your base in this case is a hexagon. See the hexagon? The top is also a hexagon. The lateral is this. So you would figure out first the perimeter of your hexagon. So you would need to know this. What is the measure of the side of the hexagon? So once you knew the side of the hexagon, you would be able to go ahead and calculate the perimeter of this hexagon. Multiply it times the height of the lateral, and that gives you your lateral surface area. Then you're back to looking at the base of it to get the surface area. And remember, it's 6 triangles, and all of those triangles are equilateral triangles, ones that we've already been working with, so you should be able to do that one. Okay, a cylinder, same type of thing, only now we've got a circle. If you're going to have a cylinder, you're going to have the lateral surface is this side, this curved side that goes all the way around. And again, it's the perimeter of this, which is called a circumference. Okay, so it is the circumference of the circle, circumference of the base, times the height of the lateral. In this case, we'll call it a cylinder because the lateral does make it the cylinder. Then to get the surface area, it's the lateral surface area, just like the others, plus 2 times the area of the base. And in this case, since your base is a circle, remember it's pi r squared. Whereas the circumference of the base is pi times the diameter, or you could say pi 2 pi r. 2 times pi times the radius, because the diameter is 2 times the radius. So you have 2 possibilities to choose for the circumference of the base. Okay, so the very last one I want us to look at is the pyramid. Now remember, a triangle has half the amount of area as a rectangle does. So when we look at a pyramid, you've got your base, whatever that base is, but each side of the pyramid makes a triangle, okay? Now, these triangles make up the lateral, and those triangles, if I were to actually have a rectangular, like a prism, if those sides were rectangular, like this one is, they're essentially the same size, or almost the same size. In fact, they are. As you can see, these are the same size. So this area of this face is 1/2 the amount of this face right here, because it's a triangle, and a triangle is half the amount of space of a rectangle. So So what we are going to do with our triangular pyramid, what's it going to be? So a pyramid has what? The perimeter of the base times the height, H-E-I-G-H-T, of the pyramid, of the triangle of the, how do we say that? Let's say the height of the triangles of the sides, okay? Times 1/2, because you're going to have half of that amount, okay? So you might want to write this 1/2 times perimeter of base times height of the triangles. And they're all the same height, so it shouldn't matter. And now, to be a surface area, it is your lateral plus area of the base. And in this case, there's only one base. So you see, that kind of simplifies down your surface area just a little bit. Hopefully it won't be quite so hard for you from here on out as you look at the lateral surface area being the perimeter times the height, and then you add the areas of the bases onto it. And hopefully that will make that just a little bit easier for you, so it makes a little more sense and is a little easier for you to do those, okay? There's another thing we can do. We can look at complex shapes, okay? And you will have some of these in your homework assignment, so we need to look at it. Okay? Didn't draw that one very good. Okay. I'm not too good at this thing. I did better on my paper than I did on the board. Let's try this one again. Okay, not the best, but anyway, there it is. So you have a shape, and what we've got is kind of looks like a stair, right? But we want to know, what is the surface area of this thing? So you have every one of these shapes here, plus the bottom, plus the side, plus this, plus that. So let's start with the lateral. So the lateral would be to get the perimeter around this front shape. So let's just put some numbers on. How about 10 feet, 8 feet, let's go 2 feet, 2 feet, and that's going to be 6 feet. This will be 2 feet, 2 feet, and 4 feet, okay? And the length, this one here, from here to here, let's make it 15 feet. All right? So there we are. So to get the lateral, all we have to do is add all these numbers up for the perimeter and multiply it times 15, and that will give us the whole thing around. So let's look at that. I've got 10 plus 8 plus 4, 6, 8 plus 6 plus 4 Okay, and this thing is going to multiply times by 15, so that's 26, and 30, 36. 36 times 15 is equal to 26, let's see, 16, 26, plus 10, yeah, 36. 36 times 18 will give me a lateral of 648 feet squared, okay? Now, if we want the whole surface area, we are now going to have to calculate this here. And we can break it up into pieces. We'd have a 4 times 10, and then we would have a 2 times, let's see, 6, 10 minus 6 is 4. And then you'd have a 2 times 2 at the top. And so this will give me 40 and 8 and 4. And so this gives me 48, 52 is my area, and that's times 2, because there's 2 pieces like that, making 104. So I add 104 to this one, and I now have 12, here my 1, 5, and 7. 752 square feet. So you can see it's easier to calculate your surface area if you figure your perimeter and then times the length that makes up that lateral surface area first, and then go to the other pieces, the 2 base pieces. So there it is. That's how you calculate those type of things for surface area. And I hope this will help you and make it a little bit easier to calculate that. Have a good day.